What's up, friends? What's going on? How are we today on Coffee with Brodes? It's a Tuesday morning. We had no Phillies action last night. Extremely disappointing. I did not know what to do. What am I supposed to do? There's no Phillies baseball. There's no Phillies? What do you mean there's no Phillies? All this team does is win. I'm accustomed to seeing winning baseball day after day after day after day. And I can say that 8 times. And then you're just going to throw me nothing on a Monday night? Well, I ended up watching some Yankees Royals. That was actually very entertaining late. I got sucked into some late night action. There was some afternoon summer league, although I did not catch too much of it because I was filling in for Devon Gibbons on the Fanatics, so I was on the radio there. But Tyrese Maxey balled. I don't really think that there's much to that. I know he was adding to his game. You saw some things that you necessarily didn't see when it comes to shooting the basketball. But yeah, I mean, that's going to happen when you're playing a lot of dudes that aren't going to be in the NBA. Like, I'm not going to overreact to Maxey having some strong outings. He's supposed to have strong outings. He's an NBA player playing in the NBA Summer League. He's definitely an NBA player playing in the NBA, in the Summer League. I mean, what do we expect to happen? He's going to go off and get his. Isaiah Joe is going to make some shots because they've already played real action. Of course, they're going to look like this. Of course, they're going to look like this. So that's kind of where we begin today. We got Max Scherzer versus Aaron Nola tonight. I'm really looking forward to it. I don't imagine we see Rhys Hoskins back in the lineup, though. Here's Rhys Hoskins' stats versus Max Scherzer. He's got 23 at-bats. He's got one double and 12 strikeouts, which is an 0.43 batting average. Even with the whole groin injury, whether he could be available today or maybe he's not. Maybe he is still that injured or whatever. I don't think you're going to see him regardless, just based off the pitching matchup. And if I remember correctly, they did this before against the Nationals when Rhys Hoskins was specifically swinging the bat pretty well. They took him out of the lineup. So, yeah, I don't think he'll play against Max Scherzer tonight. We will begin here with a nice cup of Joe. Nice cup of Joe. We got a little Starbucks vanilla. That's what we're rocking with today. It's black. It's black coffee. Starbucks vanilla. I'll tell you what I'm starting to get addicted to, though. I'm loving Starbucks' cold brews, but their iced coffee is amazing. Just black iced coffee. Starbucks black iced coffee. Oh my God, it's amazing. I might go grab one after coffee with Brodes. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to, damn it. Ooh, that's good right there. That's a good sip. All right, let's hit the comment section. I want to thank everyone so much for being in here this morning. What's going on? What's going on? Why is my chat frozen? Now it is not frozen. Okay, here we go. 2-1 pitchers duel. Nola and Scherzer both go the distance. Bullpen gets another night up. That's the score you're predicting. That's not going to happen. Max Scherzer and Aaron Nola are both going to go the distance. I mean, that's just an outrageous way to start the show. That's just a ridiculous comment to begin things here. That's not going to happen. Guapo thinks that the Phillies need a better bullpen in general. Well, there's nothing you can do about it at this moment, right? I mean, this is basically what you have, and this is the team that is going to be rocking the back end of the season here. Do they need a better bullpen? I think they have a bullpen right now that works. It's not great. Definitely not great. It's not bad either. I think players are starting to find out their roles. Hector Neris in the 6th or 7th inning is starting to feel real confident. Archie Bradley and Ian Kennedy towards the late innings are starting to be solid. Alvarado in between those two. Now, he's always a wild card. You're going to see a lot of pitches out of the strike zone. I was listening to Mikey Mish on my ride into the show, and someone called in saying that they want Jose Alvarado over Ian Kennedy for the bullpens, for the closer spot. What? You want the dude that can't throw strikes? You want the dude that just wants to walk everybody and put people on base? In what universe is that the best decision for the closer role? But my point is this. If your starter can give you 6 and you go Neris, Alvarado, Archie, or Neris, Alvarado, Ian Kennedy, and I don't love Ian Kennedy by any means, I'd lean towards Archie Bradley. If that's what your bullpen is, it seems there's some consistency that everyone's getting into a groove. I actually had Ricky Bowe on as my guest last night, and he was an awesome listen, man. I always enjoy having him on the show. He was loving Zach Wheeler's fastball command. We got into Aaron Nola's disappointment so far and the way that he's pitching and his mechanics and his pitch sequence, and we were just talking about the Mets series and what's moving forward. But it's always great talking to Ricky Bowe. Hopefully, the day off didn't kill any momentum. I don't think it would kill any momentum, even if they lose, right? Let's just say, hypothetically, Dunder, they lose. I don't think it has to do with, well, their momentum was killed to the off day. It's probably going to be because, well, Max Scherzer was on the mound and they're playing a very good team in the Los Angeles Dodgers. That's probably why they're going to fall if they are going to fall. Look, you just beat your rival, the Mets, and it was a packed barn. And now the Dodgers are coming to town. They're going to be inspired to play after 8 games, right? You win 8 straight games, any team is still going to have that juice and that intensity to want to take the diamond, and they're probably antsy and itching to get ready. Right now, it's 9:07. I bet you Bryce Harper's up playing with crew, having a cup of coffee, and all he's thinking about is 7:05 and the first pitch. I don't think there's any like internal emotion that's no longer there because of Monday. If anything, the day off almost makes the anticipation a bit more, where now they're even more hyped because all they want to do is go play. Adam says, I hope Didi comes back hot. He was heating up. Yeah, I don't know what to expect from Didi. If there's any injury I'm the most concerned about, it's Zach Eflin and it's Didi Gregorius, just because of Didi's background, and then he gets hit with that elbow again. It's definitely very unfortunate. But you're right, there was better power numbers. He was clearly swinging the bat better. If you remember, there was about, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or so, 3 weeks ago or so, maybe a little bit before that. I'm a little off on my timeline. It doesn't really, regardless, it doesn't really matter when exactly it was. But his bat speed, he couldn't catch up to anything. He looked like a Mets batter. Looks like he could fit right through the Mets lineup, bat right after Pete Alonso. His bat speed was egregious. He could not catch up to anything. And you're right, there has been the page has been turned a bit where he's pulling the ball to right field and he's smacking them pretty solidly. So he has been a bit smoother. The problem is the defense does not make up for it. Well, his defense, his defense might, but it's got to be more consistent. The hitting does. The hitting has to be more consistent. I don't really have too much thoughts on Carter Hart's contract. I've been asked this a little bit on Twitter. It's sort of inevitable what was going to happen. He's an RFA, and the Philadelphia Flyers were going to sign him, just like they're going to sign Travis Sanheim, and then your team is basically going to be finished off. So I don't really have too many thoughts on it. I don't think it's very conversational. He signed a deal as a restricted free agent that we kind of expected him to sign, and that's really that. So that's my thoughts on Carter Hart's contract. It's really not conversational, and it's basically what we knew was going to happen. It actually ended up happening. The atmosphere and energy at Citizens Bank Park on Friday night was absolutely electric. I enjoyed every moment of it, and it felt like a playoff game. And that's what we're about. That's what we're about right there, baby. We're about that energy. We're about that feel. We're about that electricity. And it's really huge to where this team is right now. We're one. That's what it is. We are one. The fans and the team, you're connected at the hip here. I think the Philadelphia Phillies on the field are embracing every single second of us going nuts, going bonkers, losing our mind, and it's vice versa. The reason why they are continuing to win is because they know it. They know the fan base is a part of them right now. And let's see if it continues in this series against the Dodgers, because let's be realistic. There's going to be a lot of Dodgers fans, but there's something to be said about the way the Mets fans show up to town. It's like no other here at CBP. There's going to be a lot of blue with the Dodgers too, but it's different than the Mets feel. And maybe that's just because of the internal rivalry and how much we hate them, and that's why we view it differently. But I want to see this fan base show up again, and this time it's during the week, which changes. Thursday will be a little tough because of the afternoon game, but in general, the Phillies have an opportunity here, the fans, to prove, hey, we have your back, baby. Let's go. Now, Christian responds to the Carter Hart thing with Sanheim's going to arbitration. Yeah, I know. And they're still going to figure it out. Sanheim will be here. Sanheim will be signed after Carter Hart was just signed. I mean, like I said, the inevitable is basically going to happen. Carter Hart and Sanheim will both be signed, and then the Flyers will move forward. Sanheim is not horrible. I don't know what you've been watching over the last handful of years, but no, Sanheim is not horrible. Him and Phil Myers were the problem last season and slightly weak goaltending. If you watched last year and you thought the reason why that team was just awful was only that pairing, is just laughable. You're right, two young defensemen on the same pair is probably going to cause some issues at times. No doubt about it. They had turnover problems just like everyone else. Their forwards did not back check properly, just like everybody else had to deal with. Just like a lot of these forwards were flooding the zone early, and Travis Konechny had to get sat for it because he just wasn't properly assessing the D zone the right way. I'm not telling you that Travis Sanheim had a great season last year. Quite frankly, I did not think he had a great season. He does not stink, though. It's tough to play two young defensemen on the same pairing, and things will be different now that you have an actual core surrounding the younger players. So I think that that's a little obnoxious, in my opinion. I thought the AAV was a little high for Carter Hart. And with Sanheim going to arbitration, I wonder how much he will get. Yeah, I'm curious. I know that they're tight with the cap, but ultimately, when you realize how much cap space they have, I don't know how much they could be demanding and how much that ends up getting locked in during arbitration. It's going to be reasonable within the Flyers' range, I would imagine. So, look, Sanheim's not going to get anything that's that crazy. I mean, really, what are we talking about here, right? With arbitration, what's he going to get? I mean, there's no way he's going to get that much unless the Flyers lowballed him to an insane degree where he felt no way in hell, which maybe that did happen. I don't know. But I do know this. Travis Sanheim's not going to get some obnoxious amount of money. All right. Crypto. You're weird as shit, and you're just getting blocked for such a dumb comment. So I hope your day is better now. What are my predictions for this Dodgers series? I think they're going to end up going. See, they're going to lose a series at some point, right? I think it's easy to say it's this one, but I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Maybe it's the Reds. It's going to be one that you don't really anticipate. I think they win 2 of 3. I don't know what game they fall. Maybe it's tonight with Aaron Nola on the mound. They have Gibson, and who else is going later on in this series for the Titans? I'll check it out right now. I forget who's pitching. I know it's Gibson, and it's Aaron Nola, and it's Suarez. Gibson versus Price. I think they win 2 of 3 this series. I do. I think they win 2 of 3. Maybe they lose tonight's game and then they bounce back the next 2. But I do sense a series win. But they're going to lose a series eventually here, whether it's the Cincinnati Reds or maybe it's the trap game against the Diamondbacks. But this team doesn't fall to those bad teams anymore like they did earlier in the season. They pounce. They get on you. They dominate. They cruise. They beat the teams that they're supposed to, at least the way that they're playing right now. That's continuing to happen. So I don't know if the trap series is even a thing anymore with this baseball team. Maybe it's the Cincinnati Red series that they fall. They're going to fall one of these 2 series, though. It's either the Dodgers or the Cincinnati Reds. They're not going to keep this up forever. So, possibility that I might be going to the game tomorrow and seeing Gibson pitch for the 2nd straight night. Awesome, dude. Yeah, it's a nice outing to see as long as the defense shows up because you know he's going to rely heavily on the ground ball game. You know he's going to rely on pitching to contact and hoping that the players behind him can make the simple fundamental plays. The problem is the simple fundamental plays is not something that this team normally does. So because of that, I get nervous whenever I see Sinker, whenever I see him throw that pitch, which, by the way, he throws that pitch, something that he does. If you go to his baseball savant, right? His usage of this sinker is at 35%. 35% of the time, he's cracking down on that sinker for his defense to make plays. And he goes slider 16%, changeup 15, fastball 12.5, cutter 12.5, curveball 10. So he's got some versatility there with his pitch selection, which obviously keeps hitters off guard. You're really guessing up there. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pitches to really worry about. Yeah, good luck being at the dish. What's your Nola final line prediction coming from mine, dude? Huh. I'm going to go 5 in the third, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, 6 Ks. So I say 5 in a third. I think he goes 5 in a third. Not a great error, Nola. 5 in a third, allowing a couple runs. Just when I thought I was done with Max Scherzer, the Phillies have to suffer through him again. I was thinking the same thing. What are the odds, right? I mean, you finally got rid of him. You don't want to think about him anymore. He's so damn dominant. He's one of the best pitchers in the game. Oh, yeah, he gets traded. Thank the Lord you're done with this fool. No, no, no. Here comes the 2 different colored eyeballs walking to the mound, but this time in a Dodgers jersey. The Dodgers are just ridiculous on paper. And I know they're not leading the NL West because of the San Francisco Gabe Kaplers. But I'll tell you what, they basically have an MLB The Show roster. If you're a franchise mode, be a GM mode, and you're basically trying to make your own team that beats up on everybody else, it would be this Dodgers team. It would literally be this Dodgers team. At first glance, I was annoyed with the Galvis pickup, and after time to sit and look back, I would have liked the center field, but this defense will help at shortstop. Yeah, and then you can move to Reyes to third base. That was one of the questions I asked Ricky Bo because, I saw some things about, well, maybe Freddie could play third, but Freddie never really played any third base in his career. Very, 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 very limited. So he thought it would be, if anything, it would be Galvis at shortstop, Ronald Torreyes at third base, which makes the most sense to me. I was never upset with getting Freddie Galvis. You barely gave up anything to get him. It's not as if you sent together a monster package to pick up Freddie Galvis, who was injured and wasn't even going to be activated as soon as you acquired him, and you only had him from the middle of August on. So you basically gave up nothing, loose change, to take an attempt and a stab to get your defense better. I mean, it was a no-brainer. So I never personally had a problem with Freddie Galvis. I just didn't love the concept of buying because in every other division, you're sell, sell, sell. And that's the ironic thing about this. You really are discussing a team that's selling Andrew McCutchen, at least Andrew McCutchen at the deadline in any other division except for this one. But they are in this one. And from that moment on, Dave Dombrowski added some pieces to just get a little bit better without selling the farm. And he made that very clear. We're not going to do anything stupid here. So even himself, and the entire front office and the entire team recognize this is not the go all in year. This is we're hanging on by a thread because everyone else surrounding us is not a very strong baseball team. Let's just get a little better. Let's give up a little bit, get a little better, and see where that takes us. And, well, the team has clearly responded. Well, not by game one. Game one, there was a 7-0 loss to Pittsburgh. I don't know how you fall on your face that quickly as soon as you make some moves. But right after that game 3 in Pittsburgh is where it all changed. Do I think Bryce Harper has a legitimate shot to win the National League MVP? I think he's in the running, obviously. You see the numbers, betting-wise, continue to go in his direction. There's some concern about the power numbers and the RBI numbers, I guess I should say, when it comes to winning that title. Fernando Tatis Jr., though, if he comes back to the lineup and he starts shredding, it's basically his to lose. Bryce Harper's playing so damn well, though. If the Phillies win the division and Fernando Tatis Jr. is not back, then yeah, I think he's got an awesome shot at this thing, and I think it's real. I don't think it's a far reach or a stretch. I think it's real that Bryce Harper can win the National League MVP. Absolutely. You do need to look at the RBI numbers, though. The OPS is huge these days. There's a lot of different ways to analyze the game now with all these numbers. For example, back in the day, you would have never saw a pitcher like Jacob deGrom win a Cy Young with barely any wins to his name. I mean, if you go back to that season, he won, right? I'm just trying to relate it to what you look for as a Cy Young winner or an MVP winner now compared to what you did back in the day. So he was 10-9 10-9. Come on now. That used to be a laugh in the face if you were 10-9 back in the day, thinking about winning a Cy Young award. It would go with your win-loss ratio or your win-loss record. You don't have that anymore, though. So if you apply that to hitting, is it possible that the lack of RBIs could be made up with the OPS? And let's say he's got a 1 dot. Let's say he finishes the year with a 1 dot. You're telling me that can't make up for the lack of RBIs? Because I think it absolutely can. So to answer your question, yeah, I think there's some legitimacy to it. Gabe Kapler's in here. I can't wait to win Manager of the Year in the National League. I really don't have any response to that other than you're right. And I hate to admit this, but I actually thoroughly enjoy watching the San Francisco Gabe Kaplers. You know me, I'm a big fan of that West Coast baseball when it's late at night, late night baseball. That's where some action goes down. It's sort of like when we were younger, and I don't know, I mean, maybe there's a lot of younger people in here now, so I don't know. But back in the day, late night on HBO would be, and it wasn't porn. It was not porn. It was just like Playboy 30-minute documentaries where maybe you would see a boob. I mean, it would literally be to that extent where it was late night, maybe like you'd see a woman take her top off for 5 seconds during this Playboy thing, but it would be late night HBO. And that's how I relate late night baseball. Late night baseball is like where craziness happens and it's 1 o'clock in the morning and the Seattle Mariners are hitting walk-offs and there's like nonsense going back and forth and it goes into extras and there's so much scoring happening in the 10th, 11th, and 12th and blown saves. Like that's what it's all about. And that's what late night baseball is. It's the HBO late night boob slip, if you will. I hope that makes sense to everyone. If not, then I just sound like an absolute idiot. But that's what it's like to me. That took a wild turn. You know what I'm saying, though, right? I mean, come on. You know what I'm saying. Come on, you know, Skinamax was the late night go-to. I don't know what that is. I'll be honest, I don't know what that is. The nip slip. Yeah, it's kind of like you see a boob and you're younger and it's like, whoa, what's going on HBO at midnight? All right, we'll change the subject because this could get into some weird shit that doesn't need to happen. I apologize for even going down that road, but in my mind, it is the perfect explanation. Or it's the perfect way to describe late night West Coast baseball. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say. That's all I'm trying to say. Oh, Cinemax. That wasn't. I know what Cinemax is, but that's not how you spelled it. Unless that's like their play on words or something. We're done. We're done. No reason to dissect this. Okay, we're moving on. Part of winning the Cy Young as a starter was being able to save your pen, be a stopper, and stop losing streaks. Still think that's important. Of course, that's important. And guess what? Zach Wheeler can do that as well. That's the beauty of Zach Wheeler. You basically went from this team is a disaster to you might have the National League MVP and you might have the National League Cy Young Award winner, both coming from the Philadelphia Pinstripes. What universe is this? How is this actually physically possible? I have no idea. Now, this is just a bad take. This is just a bad take. Baseball trash Brodes. Now, you know that I thoroughly enjoy baseball. It's one of my favorite sports. I basically break down every damn Phillies game. Why would you come in here and tell me that baseball's trash? It's not. You're so wrong with this assessment. But what makes you feel like that was a great idea this morning? When you see the title of the show, when you know we're excited about the Phils, when it's Red October vibes, everyone's super excited. Baseball's trash Brodes. I mean, that's just ridiculous. That's just ridiculous. Joey says, I like Nola's chill personality, but it would be awesome to show some fire on the mound. Yeah, but that's also not him, right? I don't want him to go into a mode that's not him, which I guess he's kind of stuck right now in an area where he is pitching like he's not Aaron Nola. And that's very true. He does seem lost, but I don't want him to be out of character. If he's starting to do things like that, maybe he'd be reaching to do something that's not really under the Aaron Nola umbrella. You got to find your balance, right? Is there something to be said about trying something new and trying to spark yourself and to get emotionally invested and to let it all out there? Yeah, trust me, there's definitely something to pushing new buttons and twisting things just to try something new and to help you get out of a funk. I'm not against it. I also don't want him to be Hector Nerising out there and double fist pumping and pumping the glove and getting all crazy and wonky like that either. So that's just not in his DNA. I almost feel if he's cool, calm, and collected and no emotions and just walking, that might be the best sign of Aaron Nola getting back to his version that he needs to be the purest form, I guess I should say, of Aaron Nola. But we'll see. I really don't know what to expect out of him. Every day, it's a coin flip. It's a flip of a coin. I don't know which Aaron Nola we're getting. Are we getting 7 strong or are we getting 5 innings, 5 hits, 100 pitches? And more times than not, we have gotten that. That's the issue. Tyrese and Joe carried the summer league. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. But that should have been expected, right? TBB, that should have been expected. You basically have guys that played at the end of the bench. Well, Isaiah Joe played at the end of the bench. Maxey played legitimate minutes and played in playoff games. They should be waxing ass in Summer League, and that's exactly what they did. Fran says, inject me with Kyle Gibson, fired up after the double play against the Mets. Yeah, that was excellent. That was excellent. He gave you a couple different ones. And when they go to break on NBC Sports Philadelphia and that music plays, and then they show the replay of the slow-mo, but you got another one, too, where he let out a Ric Flair woo. Just a good woo after a big-time play. Both of them might have been a double play, if I remember correctly. But regardless, even if it wasn't, just ridiculous to see his passion and his fire. And Bryce has made it pretty clear that he has changed a lot with that clubhouse, being an older guy, being in his mid-30s, and just having that type of leadership quality that maybe did something to this team, calmed them down and made them feel comfortable. And now it's let's go play baseball and let's go hit the diamond and win a lot of games. So there's something to be said about the little things that Kyle Gibson brings to the table that Bryce Harper is clearly noticing and making sure that everybody else knows about it as well. I almost spit out my coffee because perfect execution here. I just got flipped a double bird and says, let's keep it rolling tonight. Absolutely, man. I literally cannot wait. It's 9:28 as we sit here right now, just kicking it on Coffee with Brodes, relaxing, talking some sports, just chilling. And the only thing in my mind is I cannot wait till 7. All I can think about is 7. I'm going to go to the gym later. I'm going to absolutely destroy my body probably because it's a tougher day at the office. And all I'm going to be thinking about is this game. But I am scared with Aaron Nola. I don't feel great about it, which is kind of conflicting feelings. I don't feel the strongest in the world because I am very nervous about Aaron Nola. At the same time, just the fact that they're going to be playing baseball is something that excites me. Off-season predictions. About what? What are we asking about off-season predictions for? First off, there's 4 teams, so I don't know what team you're talking about. And I guess it can't be the Phillies, unless you are talking about the Phillies and next year's offseason predictions. Right now, we got a hot Phillies team. Let's rock with it. Arm Zebra says, with the Phillies being hot, I completely forgot there was an Eagles preseason game on Thursday. That is something that I have mentioned for a little bit of time now with how this is going. Like, it would be different, right? Okay, let's pretend we're in New England. We're in Boston. We're in Mass. And Tom Brady with Bill Belichick is running back another year of football together. There's zero to talk about when it comes to training camp. Zero. Because their track record speaks for themselves. It does what it does every year. They do what they do every year. You know what you're getting. There's not many questions other than what wide receiver is going to play with Tom Brady this year, but it doesn't really matter because they're going to go win a Super Bowl regardless of your answer. So there's no juice to it. Even if the Eagles were to run back Doug Peterson with Carson Wentz and Jim Schwartz, yeah, we'd be wondering, will the offensive line stay healthy? Will Carson Wentz be able to throw the football better this year? But ultimately, we know Doug Peterson's plan. We know Doug Peterson's offense. We know Doug Peterson's training camp. there's nothing to really get from it. Right now, you got so many questions. Who's Nick Sirianni? Who's Jonathan Gannon? Who's Jalen Hurts? What's this offense going to look like? How is Miles Sanders progressing in the catching department, in a lot of different departments, in the not fumbling the ball department? There's a billion questions, yet not too much buzz. You would think all those questions would lead to more buzz, but there really hasn't been that many conversations. It's almost been the opposite. Uh, let's see. The second we get a reliable pen, we're winning it all. Well, I don't think it's that easy, Patty. I don't. I don't think it's that easy. That's too simple. Oh, once they fix their major issue, they're perfect. Well, no, they still have problems. Because guess what? Your starting pitching staff is still not good. Outside of Zach Wheeler and Kyle Gibson, which we've only seen for 2 starts, who do you feel confident about? Because it's not Nola. It's Suarez to a fun degree, not to an actual playoff degree. And then Zach Eflin's injured. And what do you got then? So it's not that easy. That's too simple of a statement. Their defense is awful. I would say Kyle Gibson is my 2 right now, if we're thinking about it. Kyle Gibson would be my 2 in a playoff game. And that might not be because he's so special. I think that more tells you on how I feel about Aaron Nola. Thunder says Eflin can be good, but he's not reliable. Well, he's also injured right now, so I just don't know what to expect when he does come back to the lineup. He's missed a lot of time, not just a little bit of time. It wasn't just 1 start, and it's not just 2 starts like they informed you it was going to be. And even when they pushed it back to 3 starts, this is going to be an actual problem now because by the time he is back in the lineup, you just don't know truly what you're getting out of him. It's going to be a problem. Going to be a problem. You're right. Nola is playing like a 5 starter. His ERA is 4.50. It's actually 4.49. So I'm sorry, Aaron Nola, for making it seem worse than what it is. You got a 4.49 ERA. That's what you ask out of your 5th guy. Hey, can you please give us 4 or 5 innings without allowing an earned run? Can you please just get us through 5? Maybe allow 1 earned run. Let's say you go 5 innings, 1 earned run. We'll take that and we'll go to the pen. I mean, that's basically what you get out of 5th starters. And with Aaron Nola, that's kind of what you're getting at him. That's the production you're getting out of him. Not the 5 innings, 1 earned run. You're not getting that. The point is the mentality of what you ask a 5th starter is to get that. And then he's naturally going to have some bad outings, and the ERA will be in that 4 to 5 range, in between 4 and 5 at some point. That's where you're at with Aaron Nola. I saw a comment here I wanted to bring up, but I lost it. We'll go to Jose. Pitchers usually begin to really go lock and loaded mode if their team is in the hunt in October. Well, every time I've said this statement, this is a big one for Aaron, it normally doesn't result in a lot of success. And he's had opportunities in years past where it was a bigger game. Let's talk about last year down the stretch. The Phillies team had to do what? They had to win a baseball game. That's what they needed to do. They had to win a baseball game, and they lost. And Aaron Nola came up small. He comes up small. So you're right. The ones that are wired differently do take the ball, and they do Zach Wheeler-esque things. They give you Zach Wheeler 9 innings, 2 hits, 0 earned runs, 1 walk batter, 11 strikeouts, retiring 22 in a row. That's what the players do that get locked and loaded differently when they are in the hunt. Do I expect that out of Aaron? No, I don't. I've never truly really seen that in such a big spot. Yeah. Nola had an opportunity, the promised land in Tampa. Oh, man, don't remind me. Now, how about am I on Aaron Nola right now? Oh, no, this is Jacob deGrom. Let's go to, I have too many pages up at the moment. I was looking up those Cy Young numbers. I hate MLB.com's stat page. I really do. I'm a baseball reference guy. Baseball reference guy. All right, let's go to game logs and the 2020 split. It was against Tampa Bay. They lost 5-0. He went 3 2/3, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 3 walked batters. Damn. Talk about shit in the bed, for real. 5-0 loss. Now, the offense sucked. But you go 3 2/3 as a number 1 pitcher of your staff. in a big-time must-win game September 27th, and you allow 6 hit, 3 earned runs, and you walk 3 as well? Nola, that's totally unacceptable, man. That's totally unacceptable. Uh-oh. Braves will stake of the division, sir? Does that sentence make sense, or am I an idiot? Braves will stake of the division, sir. Braves will stake of the division. Maybe I need more coffee for that to make sense. I don't know. Maybe I need more coffee. I see what Andre's trying to say here, though. Clearly a Braves fan, and this individual believes that the Braves are going to go on a ride. This is reality of the situation. No one's going to run away with this division. It's literally going to be this team, as in the Phillies, the Braves, and even the Mets, are all going to be in the same area basically for the rest of the way. No one's going to be 9 games up at any point. No one's going to be 7 games up at any point. It's going to be a dogfight. Everyone's going to be involved with one another, and it's going to be close. That's just what it is. That's the reality of this season and this schedule and this division. It's going to be tight, and it's going to be close, and everyone's going to continue to win games together. And then there'll probably be a stretch where all the teams lose games all together as a unit. It's just reality of the situation. Yeah, I mean, 8 would be almost absurd. It's probably going to stay in that 4-1 range, basically, for the rest of the way, is the way I see it. All right, Carmen has a crystal ball. Third week of October, and the Phillies are on a playoff run. Eagles are off to a good start. Sixers Flyers are getting ready to get going. Which team dominates sports talk in general? The Eagles. You're telling me the Eagles are off to a good start? Probably going to be the Eagles. But it's the Phillies are going to be there too. It would be a combination of the Eagles and the Phillies. But if the Phillies are in a playoff run, yes, that's going to have the topic. But if you're telling me with Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, you say the Eagles are off to a good start. And keep in mind, that good start means that they're beating teams like they play Tampa Bay in October. They play the 49ers as well. So you have the Falcons, the Niners, the Cowboys, the Chiefs. So what's a good start? 3-1. If you tell me they go 3-1, and I don't think that's going to happen, just to be clear. I'm just saying in this hypothetical, that is a little aggressive to me, Carmen, because that's too optimistic. There's no way all this is going to happen. You're not going to have Phillies in a deep playoff run with the Eagles just winning a shit ton of football games and everything just working out perfectly. Like, it's just not going to happen. But if that's the case, it'll be a combination of the Eagles and the Phillies. You won't have a day where the Phillies dominate sports talk radio and no one mentions the Eagles. I mean, it's going to be pretty much Eagles and Phillies sprinkled in would be my guess. $10 donation coming in. Yo, Brodes, let's go. I sent you my tat pic on Twitter. 5 hours on the table on the back of my calf. Healing a little is rough right now. Keep up the amazing content. Thank you. Thank you so much, Keith. I actually did see your tweet, and it looks great, dude. And I'm with you. I'm going through the healing process right now on this side, and it is brutal, man. It's all scabbed up. I think in the middle of the night, I remember waking up and going like this for like 10 hours because I couldn't stand it anymore. And then I started my leg sleeve as well, which not this Thursday, the following Thursday. I have 4 sessions lined up. So it's, I'm excited. I'm excited. I got August 19th, and then there's a little bit of a break because she's so booked. But then I got 3. I got one in September. 2 weeks from there, I got one in October. And then 2 weeks from there, I got another one in October. So I'm basically I'm going to have, the goal is to go, we're going to go half. Like, this isn't working out well. But we're going to go half sleeve cover the whole way, and then it'll come up the thigh. So I'm going like full leg sleeve concept. And I think I pulled a muscle. I think I literally pulled a muscle. Oh, 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 we're down. We pulled a hammy. We pulled a groin. We pulled a Reese Hoskins. Oh, oh no. Oh, we're in pain. Oh, we're in pain. I gotta maybe work out. We gotta stretch the hip flexors. Good thing I'm going to the gym later. No idea what just happened. Actually, I know exactly what just happened. I have a side button on my mouse that goes to the back page, and I accidentally hit it. Um, call an ambulance. I like this comment. Just nice and simple. Get Ben out of here. Look, get Ben out of here. I don't know. Like, it's just not going to happen right now. It's just not going to happen right now. Now, I don't know who saw the Kendrick Perkins reports. The Kendrick Perkins is saying he's hearing Ben Simmons is willing to sit out. This is all part of it. Daryl Morey is going to do what he needs to do to get rid of Ben Simmons at this point. But yeah, ultimately, it's being reported that Ben Simmons will be willing to sit out. I'll share more thoughts on that, I think, in a future show. Why do we do this? Why do we do this? Nap needs more starts. He's getting shafted lately. Coming from the Andrew Knapp fan account. Now, I love it. It's funny, right? That we do this. That Gabe Kapler joins in. It was JD Hammer yesterday. I think there's also a Joe Girardi account that comes in all the time. Um, why do people think they're funny in the comments that just say dumb shit? I'm just gonna block you. I mean, you're an idiot for saying things that you say. But anyway, Andrew Knapp. Like, I almost respect the fact that there's an Andrew Knapp fan account that is a thing, right? My man's hitting 168. Why does he need more time, Knapp fan account? And I know you're just being a troll and funny, and it's like, but like in all seriousness, my man's hitting 168. It's the worst I've ever seen. It's the worst Andrew Knapp ever. The worst. Best case scenario, Phillies win 2 of 3. How's that the best case scenario? The best case scenario is winning 3 games. I don't know how the best case scenario would be winning 2 of 3. What happens when they win 3 of 3? What happens then? I'm not telling you I think that's going to happen. I'm telling you that what would you label it if they win 3 of 3? The Padres, or excuse me, the Dodgers are 6-4 in their last 10. They were 5-5. It is possible. I don't think they're going to. Like, I get it. I don't think they're going to at all. I'm just saying, you can't sit here and say the best case scenario, the Phillies are going to win 2 of 3. Now, the best case scenario is winning 3 of 3. I didn't think they'd sweep the Nationals. I didn't think they'd sweep the New York Mets. I didn't think they'd sweep a lot of these teams. And the Dodgers are way better than the 2 teams they just played. I understand that. I'm just playing the other side here. That's all. Okay, so Adam says that Blue Jays and the Phillies in the World Series is his prediction. I think that's a little bit of a reach considering the Blue Jays are in 4th place in the AL East at 60-50. 4th place in the AL East. I don't see how that happens. I also don't see how the Phillies make it to the World Series. That's a little bit of a hot take. Andre, I think we understand, man. You like the Braves. They're not the hottest team right now because the Phillies are, but they're playing better baseball. I think everyone's understanding of that. They're 7-3 in their last 10. The Phillies are 8-2 in their last 10. So now you're not even being factual. You're just saying things. I got it. You're a Braves fan. You love the Braves. You're allowed to love the Braves. I'm with you. We got it. All right. You're just going in timeout at this point. You're just going in timeout at this point. Like, they're a good team, though, Bobby, because Bobby says Braves are tripping. Get over it. Prove it first. I mean, look, they're a good team. They made a lot of moves at the deadline, and they're playing better baseball. There's no denying that it seems like they kind of turned the page a bit, and they're on the better half of this team compared to where they were when there were so many injuries and where Freddie Freeman was playing bad. There's a different vibe surrounding the Atlanta Braves also, right? We can't just pretend like that's not true. We can't pretend as if that's not a factor. It's absolutely a factor, and it's real. But like they're not playing at that much of an elite pace. They haven't turned the page to the level that they were playing in years past, and they're just grooving and perfect again. No, they're in this environment of we're playing better than we were, but we still have flaws this year. We still have Acuna injured, and that's such a big miss to their lineup every single day and what he brings to the table, all the intangibles, the swagger on top of the production at the plate. So there's so much loss there. We can't pretend like that's not real, that they're playing better. At the same time, it's not so overwhelming that I'm shitting myself thinking about it. Oh, JD Hammer says Yovera taught me everything I know. Well, guess what, JD Hammer? You'll be pitching in the minors real soon if you follow anything that he says. Unreal. Absolutely unreal. Thanks. Thanks for the 2 1/3, JD. Like, that's what's amazing about this team. Out of nowhere, here's JD Hammer backpacking off of Ranger Suarez after he went. No, I think he went 2 2/3. Who went? One of them went 2 1/3. The other went 2 2/3. Um, but regardless, it's like, what world? There's so many little details. I'm just having brain farts on today. Normally, I'm right on the money with those bad boys, but I guess I need more coffee. Yeah, JD did go 2 1/3. Ranger Suarez went 2 2/3. Got squeezed a bit behind the home plate, though. Did not love the strike zone there. Some of the inside pitches I thought could have rung up the hitter, but instead now he's got to walk someone and throw more pitches, and it got a little hectic there. But ultimately, in what universe are we in a spot where JD Hammer down the stretch, you're trying to win a game against your biggest rival. You have a half game up in the division, and you're pumping JD Hammer, and he's excelling and he's succeeding at a really efficient rate. What are we doing? All these players are just stepping up and doing great. It's crazy. It's crazy. RG thinks that the Phillies are going to run out of gas. I think the Mets are too good to struggle this much. But they've been doing it over 100-something games. This offense being bad for the Mets is not anything new. I would agree with you that in this department, there's too much talent on that Mets team to be this bad and this egregious offensively. But they have basically been one of the worst teams in baseball for all season hitting. So it's not as if for the first 90 games they were explosive, and then the last 20 they just couldn't figure it out and they weren't getting timely hits and their bats fell asleep. Their bats were never awake. Their bats never woke up in the start of the season when we talk about opening day. So because it was never there, why am I supposed to assume that automatically you'll snap your fingers and it'll happen? Now, ultimately, I said, why would I ever imagine this team snapping their fingers and winning a bunch of baseball games? And that naturally happened and they turned it around. But that's more of a miracle than it is legitimate. That's more of just like, holy shit, what are we living in right now? This is mind blowing more than it is something I could hold my hat on. So I don't know if the Mets are just going to find offense. They can't. They cannot find offense. They cannot find offense. And they haven't all year long. They swing and miss and can't catch up to 92 miles per hour. 92. It's embarrassing. It really is. They cannot hit. I also believe, though, with RG's statement here, the Phillies are going to run out of gas. Sometimes when your back's against the wall and you have to go full throttle to make sure you leave everything out there to make a certain run happen. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you use so much energy that by the end you just run out. You just run out because it took you so much to play catch up. Is that a possibility? Absolutely. Absolutely. No, I'm enjoying the moment. That's how I'm basically handling this. I don't want to worry about what's next. I don't I mean I worry about the Dodgers and some recent series that are coming up. I'm talking more about, what's next playoff wise or what's next in September. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I had a caller call into yesterday's show on the Fanatic, and they asked me this: how far can they go in the playoffs? And I legitimately said, if you want my personal, honest opinion, I don't know. I do not know. I have no idea what to expect because while this 8-game ride is amazing, let's be objective. This team has sucked a long time this year. This team has been bad for a serious amount of time this season. This 8-game win streak is amazing. I'm going to enjoy it. And there's been nothing better baseball wise in the last 3 years than these games. So I'm going to kick back and just appreciate what we're experiencing. With that said, in terms of what can they do in the playoffs, I don't know. I don't know. Who is this team? I don't know. This has not been enough of a sample size. It's not. Hope you don't mind that I'm a Blue Jays fan. I absolutely do not mind that you're a Blue Jays fan. The Blue Jays are fun as hell to watch. They're a good team, man. I mean, like, they're fourth in their division at 60 and 50. That would be basically leading the National League East right now. And they probably have more wins if they weren't playing the Yankees, Red Sox, and Rays as much, and they were playing the Washington Nationals, the Miami Marlins, and the Phillies and Mets. So it would absolutely be different. They're a fun team. I got no problems with that at all. We got Johnster11 coming in with a $1.85 donation. Thank you so much, Johnster. I really appreciate the donation and the comments throughout Coffee with Brodes and the phone calls as well that you leave. Thank you very much. Could you imagine one hell of a week last week and taking a nosedive? I don't want to think that way. Is it possible, though? Sure, it's possible. This team has done that to us many times. Honestly, I would say the track record tells you that that's probably in the mix. Possibly in the mix, unfortunately. Jesus. I have no idea what to even say. Update, Brodes. More out of the pen gives me hemorrhoids in a good way. I don't even know. I don't even know what to say to that. I'll be honest with you. I'm honestly left speechless here, and I truly have no idea what to say to that comment. I wish I did. I wish I had something to say. I'm almost in a spot where I got nothing for you, but that's pretty damn hilarious. Adam said, been a fan since 2019. Well, thank you. You know, the amount of Toronto fans from that, I don't know if you came from that Raptor series, but the amount of Toronto fans that found me during the Raptor series when I was breaking down the games that have stayed through to this point basically is amazing. You know, it's just kind of like so surreal that the fan base from a different city have enjoyed the content for so long just from our basketball teams playing against one another that they've naturally now watched some Flyer stuff because normally a lot of them are Toronto Maple Leafs fans because they're hockey fans and they stick through with some Phillies content. It's pretty cool. It really is. Um, well, to be fair, with this Matt Klentak comment, Matt Moore was not picked up by Matt Klentak. That was a Dave Dombrowski concept of utilizing that money that they were going to on a starter, splitting it between Chase Anderson and Matt Moore, which backfired. So I guess it could technically be a Matt Klentak type of experience. The result feels Matt Klentak-esque, but at the end of the day, that was definitely 1,000% a Dave Dombrowski concept. Why wouldn't I let that play? Glad you liked my Gene meme in the other night's call. Can't believe you let it play. Why would I not let it play? Why would I not let it play? That's a coffee through the nose comment. What? Oh, yeah, for sure. What are these emails popping up? I hate this damn email thing. Stop popping up. I can't stand it. Why does this happen? It's annoying. Get out of my way. All right. Should be good. Oh, wow. If anyone's going to the game tonight, say hi to me. Won't be hard to find. Only guy in a Scott Kingery jersey. Scott Kingery will never play a baseball game again for the Phillies. He just won't. I mean, wow. Talk about a contract that he got before he was ready for it. And Scott Kingery has just become a nobody. Now, he ended up getting hurt. You know, not that I'm going to do too much. Oh, my God. I almost spilled my coffee. Do too much research on the injury side of things because he's just irrelevant to this point. But I spelled Kingery wrong. And what was the latest injury that happened? Well, I don't. He had season-ending shoulder surgery. That's what it was. I didn't remember what part of the body was banged up. But yeah, it looks like he went to season-ending shoulder surgery. Wow, he's 27. The start of this headline or the start of this article says it's another lost season for Scott Kingery. The Phillies' 27-year-old infielder slash outfielder will miss the rest of the 2021 season after undergoing shoulder surgery. He's 27 already? Damn. Isn't that kind of wild? Doesn't that seem like what? What is going on here? Do we have a probable pitcher? Hold on. Do we have a probable pitcher for Friday? Yeah, there's probably a. Oh, here you go. Yeah, there's probably a probable pitcher for Friday against San Diego. Oh, no, that's the first game on the list that doesn't have a probable pitcher. But if it goes, oh, no, it's whoever that fifth starter is right now. I guess that's kind of an empty spot because if you look right now, you got Nola, Gibson, Suarez, Wheeler, blank. Nola, Gibson, Suarez, Wheeler, blank. So that Friday night is, oh, I'm sorry, I have the wrong question popped up. But yeah, unfortunately, that's your fifth starter role. So maybe it's Vince Velasquez, maybe it's Matt Moore. I don't know. Is Zach Eflin back by then? Maybe it's Zach Eflin. But those are basically your options. You'll see Vinny V, Matt Moore, or if Vince, or if yeah, Vinny V. You know, it just I guess it depends there. Oof, oof, unreal. All right, Andre, you're gone. You're gone, Andre. You had enough chances. Just bothering me today. The presence. All right, everyone. I want to thank you all so much for hanging out today on Coffee with Brodes. You guys are the best. You're the best. You're the best. I love you all. Always love Coffee with Brodes in the morning. It really does. It starts my day well, you know? The fact that I get to kick back, have some coffee, chill with you guys. It's always a great time. All right, so we got to wait for tonight, 7 p.m. We got ourselves a Phillies game, baby. Let's go. Phillies, Dodgers, Nola, Scherzer. We'll see how it all shapes up. I'll catch you guys after the game with the post-game pod. See you guys.